UFC Fight Night on Fox 21. Maia versus Condit. Let's get into it. Adam Hunter versus Ryan James. Both guys only have one loss on their record so far. James a submission artist. Hunter a TKO guy. I'm going to go for a decision win for Hunter. Gareth McClellan versus Alessio Di Chirico. Chirico lost his last fight. That's his only loss on his record. McClellan also lost his last fight. I think that they're both going to be hungry because of this coming into the fight, so it should make for an entertaining fight. I'm going to go for a TKO in the first round for Chirico. Chad LaPrize versus Tibel Gatti. Isn't a lot to choose in this fight. Very similar records. Both lost their last two fights. I'm going to go for a sub win for Gatti in the second round. Jeremy Kennedy versus Alex Ricky. Kennedy unbeaten so far with 8 wins. Wins a lot via decision or submission. Ricky, powerful hands, can go the distance and grind out decisions. I'm going to go for a decision for Ricky. Felipe Silva versus Shane Campbell. Silva has hands that should be respected. Unbeaten so far with 7 wins. Shane Campbell coming into this fight on a 2-fight loss streak, so he's going to be eager to prove himself. He's got the experience advantage on his side. I'm going to go with Silva, a first round TKO. Enrique Barzola versus Kyle Bochnak. Barzola coming into this fight on a 4-fight win streak. Bochnak lost his last fight. Not a lot in the rankings either. I'm going to go with a decision for Barzola. Sam Alvey versus Kevin Casey. Alvey, a great personality, just looks happy to be in there and just enjoys life. Casey has got a chin. He's got a problem with his chin. I think that's a major disadvantage for him. He's got a very weak chin. I see Alvey catching him early. First round TKO for Alvey. Jim Miller versus Joe Jim Miller versus Joe Lewalzen. I can't say his name, you know what I mean. Joe's got an impressive TKO over Diego Sanchez, which was his last fight. Miller, a warrior, very good ground game, but I see Joe catching him early and finishing him TKO first round for Joe. Paige Van Zandt versus Bec Rawlins. Paige has been out for 8 months. She's been dancing with the stars. I mean, what a load of bullshit that is. But everyone's got their different enjoyments in life. So Bec Rawlins, good ground game, aggressive chick. She's not afraid to bang. I think that the 8-month gap advantage could hinder Van Zandt a bit. I'm going to go with the underdog for this, and I'm going to go for a third round submission for Bec Rawlins. Anthony Pettis versus Charles Oliveira, co-main event. Pettis has lost his last 3 fights, so he's going to be very eager to prove himself in this and get a W on his records again, just because it's been a while. He's a big name, and 3 losses in a row is just not good enough. Oliveira has a 2-inch reach advantage, so that could play a factor. If he can keep him at distance with a jab, that could play a factor. He's a submission artist, and he's ranked number 7 in the world. I'm going to go for a second round submission for Oliveira. And finally, we've got Damian Maia versus Carlos Condit. Condit coming off a very brutal fight with Robbie Lawler. Just hats go off to both of those guys, true warriors. A lot of people thought Condit won that fight against Lawler. Personally, I had Lawler, but not by a lot. But Condit, he definitely held his own in that fight. Damian Maia, best submission fighter in the company by a mile. If he latches onto you, especially if he's got back control, he's a nuisance. He's like a leech. and he's on a five streak 5-win streak, Damien Maia. So he's got better momentum coming into this fight, and he's been a bit more active than Condit has. So he could be a bit fresher in terms of fight conditioning. So saying that though, I'm going to go with Condit, and I'm going to go for a first round TKO for Carlos Condit. If he can keep Damien Maia, if he can keep it off the ground and keep Maia at striking distance, but just playing with the jab and the stand up and get the takedown defense on point, I see Condit taking this. I just feel that Maia, if he gets hit with anything from Condit, it's not going to take very much to get the TKO. So I'm going to go with a first round TKO for Carlos Condit. Shout out to everyone supporting, share the video. If you can give it a like, that helped me out a lot, and I'll see you next time.